What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from September 8th, 2020. Your commentators were Josh Matthews and Madison Rain, and this will be the follow-up of what happened of Eric Young defeating Eddie Edwards of becoming the new Impact World Champion. And also, I left out some other things that pertains to what happened on that show as well after he won the title. Not the whole beatdown, but the whole details of Moose and EC3, which I'll get to that. I will repeat that full details of it once I get to it. Before I do, just want to say if this is the first time you're watching me right here on YouTube, into my channel of yours truly, Natural Born Thriller, hit that subscribe button. If you like what I'm about to do here, hit the like button. If you dislike what I'm about to do here, hit the dislike button. Either way, just want to thank you all for spending your time, your day, your night, watching yours truly, Natural Born Thriller, right here on YouTube. Basically, thanks for the views. So, let's get to this. The show opened up with the new Impact World Champion, the World Class Maniac, Eric Young. After coming off of this defeat, after coming off of him defeating Eddie Edwards to become the new Impact World Champion and taking him out for good. So basically, he kicks off by talk about how he eliminated Rich Swann and eliminated Eddie Edwards of the picture, and it was by design. Basically, talking about his start of his reign of being the Impact World Champion. All of a sudden, Alicia Edwards comes out, calls him a coward for injuring people, including her husband. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so now she cares about Eddie Edwards. Sometimes it'll be on, off and everything, but now all of a sudden she cares about her husband. So she's yelling at Eric Young. Eric Young trying to talk. Say no, I'm talking here. You listen. And basically, Eddie Edwards is going back sooner rather than later, and he'll be back to claim his world title, which I hope not. But she continues to yell at EY for what he did. So basically, saying something about Eddie Edwards can't hold their daughter, which I didn't even know that Alicia Edwards and Eddie Edwards even had that child. I didn't know they even had a daughter. I knew they were married and everything, but I didn't know anything about Alicia Edwards. At one point was pregnant, unless I missed something. I don't know. Maybe before they got married. Who knows? I just don't know. I don't know. But then again, that won't make any sense. But I don't know, folks. But being sick of what EY has been doing, and the EY basically lets him know he doesn't care, and then Alicia Edwards gives him the hardest slap that you could ever hear in the empty arena. It was so loud that you could hear it outside of the arena. So Eric Young tried to go out, trying to leave. All of a sudden he gets Alicia Edwards, trying to give him a power driver, but all of a sudden Tommy Dreamer comes out, wails him with the kendo stick, and then gets the microphone and says, basically wants to challenge EY for the title, and well, not challenge EY for the title, I meant to say, but challenge him into an old school rules match. Eric Young accepted the challenge, and we'll get to that later, which that ends up being the main event. So yeah, what way to kick off the show. And as far as the rest of the show goes, we'll get to that too. So here we go. So Rosemary, just about how she needs to resurrect Father James Mitchell, what pertains to the wedding that she's going to be having with Johnny Bravo, because the Indian minister. So all this time that you got rid of James Mitchell, out of the picture, you want to bring him back. Yeah, but she leaves Johnny Bravo alone, and basically she leaves Johnny Bravo in charge of it. Meant to say, of planning the wedding. But Ty Valkyrie also she gets control of it and everything because it's like last time with Ty Valkyrie trying to control things, even though it wasn't her wedding, you know, well, the whole thing with Brian Cage and Melissa Santos. So there you go. And a segment to me, didn't care about that segment because it's gonna be at the end of the day, it's gonna be lead to a horrible wedding segment that's coming. I don't know when, but it's coming. It might come either before or at Bound for Glory. If it happens at Bound for Glory, you can guarantee you'll be hearing a rant out of me. You can that's it, guarantee you. You can guarantee that you can be getting a rant out of me. There you go. Chris Bay versus TJP. Winner gets the opportunity against Rohit Raju for the title. So I guess I must have heard wrong from the last episode of Impact Wrestling, where I thought it was going to be, TJP getting a shot first. No, I'm sorry, Chris Bay getting a shot first at Rohit Raju, and then TJP can get it afterwards. But then Rohit Raju comes out there. Match itself, it was decent. And in the end, it was TJP getting the win on Chris Bay. So Chris Bay is locked out of the title shot. So there you go. Madison Rain's locker room talk with Smiley Kylie Ray and Susie. And by the way, you have the co-host Johnny Stringer is back along with Madison Rain. So basically the whole thing is that Madison Rain is trying to stir up drama between Kylie Ray and the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo, where it tends to Kylie Ray has been ducking her, even though that wasn't the case at all because she ends up being in Russell House because of Rosemary. So then all of a sudden we get the Impact World Champion, Impact Knockouts champion, excuse me, Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly showing up. At first I thought it was gonna be lead to a fight, but it ends up not being that at all. Basically, the whole thing of crashing Deonna Purrazzo's black tie affair, the whole championship coronation celebration, and all of a sudden this will lead to a tag team match on the next episode of Impact Wrestling. And I was saying to myself, so there's no fight in locker room talk this time. It was just laying out the challenge. And I left that segment saying, wow, what a waste of segment that was on the show. Then we get to Johnny Bravo, planning this wedding and everything, where it's just to sending invitations. Also, we get Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz coming out of nowhere, and they're yelling, basically, all up in Johnny Bravo's case, why they're not invited to the wedding and everything. Like anyone gives a fuck. So Johnny Bravo tells them that Ty Valkyrie has the list and everything, blah blah blah. Ty Valkyrie shows up because at this point, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz were basically bullying Johnny Bravo. So Ty Valkyrie shows up, and it's going to lead to a match between Ty Valkyrie versus Kiera Hogan on the next episode of Impact Wrestling. But first, it's going to be a match between Tasha Steelz versus Ty Valkyrie on this episode of Impact Wrestling. We'll get that match later. So yeah, and the segment to me itself, another waste of a segment on the show. Because again, it's about a wedding segment. A build up to the wedding segment, I should say. Brian Myers is in the ring. He's not just to compete. He's talking about how he's a pro wrestler, the most professional wrestler. Because at Emergence he defeated Willie Mack, which was a joke. Then Willie Mack comes out and questions Brian Myers and everything. And basically the whole thing where Brian Myers wants a handshake from Willie Mack, and Willie Mack refuses to give him a handshake, and says he wants to wrestle him again, and basically Brian Myers says, but I'm not prepared and everything. And it's like, oh, you're not prepared, but I thought you're supposed to be the most professional wrestler who's always prepared. So we get the match. Brian Myers, not just to compete against Willie Mack again, and Brian Myers beats him again. Brian Myers beats Willie Mack again, even though he's not fully in his ring gear. He's in closing, and he wins against Willie Mack. And I said to myself, what the fuck's going on here? Why is Brian Myers always all of a sudden winning matches? And why should I give a fuck about Brian Myers? He's not gonna mean anything in Impact Wrestling. His winnings over Willie Mack is not gonna do anything for him in the long run. So why are we having Brian Myers beating someone like a Willie Mack, who you should be looking at, who should be be taken seriously in Impact Wrestling? So we get Gina Miller. She interviews Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is who is furious at Tanya Dashwood for thinking that she could skip in front of the line for a shot on Lycos title, and basically she wants to confront Tanya Dashwood into her locker room. So she goes to her locker room to confront her and all that, and then comes to find out Tanya Dashwood's not even there. Tanya Dashwood couldn't even be there. But who was there? Caleb Conley from NWA, and who used to be in Impact Wrestling when he was the protege, basically who's the so-called protege of Trevor Lee, and he was basically Tanya Dashwood's professional photographer, and says that she's not here, but she'll be here, she'll make her return next episode of Impact Wrestling. So Jordan Grace, there's nothing she couldn't do about it, so she had to wait until next week. What a waste of a segment! Another waste of a segment. It has nothing to do with build up to the Wayne segments. It's just another waste of a segment of Tina Dashwood, who has no hype behind her, no excitement behind her, nothing about Tina Dashwood or why we should get a fuck about Tina Dashwood, and she's not even there again. Oh yeah, so this is the segment that Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz approached Tyra Valkyrie about the whole thing of controlling the wedding of Johnny Bravo and Rosemary, and that's when Tyra Valkyrie challenges the Boricua Badass to a match. And again, we'll get to that match later. So I thought it was the second segment, with that one from earlier, with Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz bullying Johnny Bravo. But I guess I was wrong. Next we get to the Impact, the Impact World Tag Team Championship. The Tag Team Champions, the Motion Machine Guns, Crip Sapien, and Alex Shelley versus the Rascals, Dez and Wentz. Match itself was pretty damn good. In the end, it was obviously the Motion Machine Guns winning, still the Impact World Tag Team Champions. After the match, also we get Ace Austin and Madman Fulton attacking. And then we get to Ethan Page and Josh Alexander attacking as well. And then we get the Good Bros coming out to attack as well, which leads to the faces standing. And this will lead to a build-up, for whatever they're gonna do for this tag team match at Bound for Glory. And I think there was a match announced for the next episode of Impact Wrestling. I think like a 4-way tag team match. I think is gonna happen. Maybe I don't remember, but I think we'll say it later on. But we'll see. But there you go. RVD and Katie Forbes reveals that there's going to be a new series on Impact Wrestling on the next episode of Impact Wrestling, which is going to be the whole FN talk show. I'll tell you one thing: I'd rather watch that than locker room talk. So I am excited about that though. Meanwhile, Sami Callihan promised that he won't hack the debut episode of the whole FN talk show. because he's got other plans. Yeah, we'll see if he's got other plans. Hopefully, he does have other plans, and he can move away from this garbage feud that Sami Callihan is in with RVD and K Forbes. Tasha Steele is being accompanied by Kiera Hogan versus Ty Valkyrie being accompanied by John E. Bravo. So yeah, so the match happens. Didn't last that long. It was alright for what it was. Ty Valkyrie actually showed some good wrestling. I'm not saying that she's never done show some good wrestling, because she's always been good, but she's I think because now and this is weird too. This is a weird thing about this. So I guess now Johnny Bravo and Ty Valkyrie are now faces, and Rosemary. You're talking about Rosemary, who ends up being alongside with them. She turned heel, only to go back. I guess now to go back to being a face now. So I guess, yeah, they're a face. And obviously, they're going up against the heels of Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan. So Ty Valkyrie gets the win. Basically, like I said, it didn't last that long. I think it was about 3 minutes, maybe, or 5 minutes of a match. It was, I'm assuming. But yeah, it didn't last that long. But Ty Valkyrie won the match. After the match, Kiera and Tasha, attacks Ty after the match, and then Johnny Bravo gets in there to break it up, and that was basically it. And yeah, there you go. Okay, I don't see anything about any announcements for the next edition of Impact Wrestling, where it tends to the matches that's going to be lined up. But one of them I do remember is Ty Valkyrie versus Kiera Hogan is going to be on the next one. So, and Kiera Hogan might lose. So, we get to EC3 and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship situation, where Moose is still trying to search for EC3. So before I get to this segment here, which this segment was not a waste of a segment, which I'm gonna get to why. Before the show went off the air last week, Moose, he's trying to look for EC3, right? And the one thing I didn't get to mention, I didn't get the full details of it because I kind of forgot about it, and I forgot to mention it, was EC3, has a shrine of Moose pictures of him, relating to his wrestling, to his football career, to everything else that he does outside of wrestling. I'm like, wow, a picture shrine of Moose. That was kind of creepy. But basically, he's been watching Moose and stalking Moose the entire time. That's basically. I didn't mention that part too, by the way, but I didn't get to mention how he was stalking him, and that was the full details of it. So back to this. So Moose is led to his high school, his old high school, with his former football coach, and Moose describes EC3 as, basically asks his coach if he's seen anyone like that, and it says nope, I haven't seen him, no one like that. As Moose starts to leave, the coach also he utters EC3's signature catchphrase, and the whole control your narrative, and he says you've been warned. And afterwards, the coach is in control, is under control of EC3, and numerous of EC3 followers appear there, and Moose ends up running away. So yeah, I guess that's EC3's character, is that he controls people's mind to control, basically he controls their narrative. I guess, I'm assuming. So Rhino tells Heath that the stunt that he pulled last week it's not gonna set well with Impact Wrestling, for he's not under contract with Impact Wrestling. He says that that the ads are working, but he needs more funding. And Rhino says he's got an idea to get some cold hard cash. And I said to myself, is he gonna rob a bank? That's what I'm thinking in my mind when he said that. Like, he's gonna rob a bank, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But we'll see. Maybe he'll steal the money from Hernandez. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. Where that means, we'll find out. Or should I say, in a way, you're gonna find out. Then we get to the Impact World Champion, Eric Young versus Tommy Dreamer in a non-title old school rules match. And the match itself was pretty damn good. Obviously, because there's no rules. You know, where it tends to candlesticks involved. Candlestick. Wait, I already said that. Candlestick involved. Steel chairs involved. Trash cans involved. Any type of weapon you could think of that were involved. And on top of that, it was like an you know, it tends to old school wrestling as well, between Eric Young and Tommy Dreamer, and an all-out brawl. In the end, it was Eric Young getting the win. I think at one point they tried to use a table in the match, but and then it came to fruition. But in the end, it was Eric Young grabbing his hockey mask, wailing Tommy Dreamer's hockey mask, goes for the sick pile driver, and gets the win. After the match, Eric Young was trying to eliminate Tommy Dreamer like he did with Rich Swann and Eddie Edwards. Speaking of Rich Swann returns, you know, with that heavy brace, you know, for his foot, whatever, you know, that yeah. So he comes out and he's and he takes out Eric Young, with that injured crutch thing that you know, that brace, the crutch brace, and I think that, I can't remember how it's called, but yeah, Rich Swann chases Eric Young away. I think he had a candlestick, whatever, to him with Eric Young. So yeah, Rich Swann and Eric Young have a stare down, and the show went off the air, and that was that show, and that was it for that edition of Impact Wrestling, the show from September 8th, 2020. I'm assuming it was the 8th, right? Unless I'm thinking wrong of it. Yeah, it was the 8th. September 8th of 2020, this is the show of Impact Wrestling. Talking about wrestling for Impact Wrestling from September 8th, 2020, 5 matches. And my overall strength for the show, I'm going to go with, wasn't the best strong show on the show, because there were some segments that made no sense, and it was a waste of a segment. But there was a couple good matches. Brian Myers was not one of them. I'm not saying it was trash, just him winning was trash. But I'm gonna give the show a 6 out of 10. I'll be generous. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. And once again, if this is your first time experiencing yours truly, Natural Born Driller, right here on my YouTube channel, Natural Born Driller, please hit that subscribe button. If you like what I did here in this review of Impact Wrestling, hit the like button. If you dislike what I did here on this Impact Wrestling review, hit the dislike button. Either way, thank you for viewing, spending your time day and night with yours truly, right here on my YouTube channel, Natural Born Driller. And with that being said, thank you all for watching for this Natural Born Driller saying peace on the streets. I'm botching all over the place now. So you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world. Love one another. God bless one another. Live in peace and harmony for all. I am Mala here. Wear your mask. Ta-ta for now.